Hello and welcome to your daily dose of Satoshi's news. Today's day is Friday, the 29th of November 2024, the year of 1,000,000 transactions per second or more. Experience the best of both worlds today at betbitcoinsv.com, the best casino and sports betting on chain. Have a little flutter in private using the original protocol and genuine Bitcoin Right. Let's see what we got today. In all, it's a buzz on social media. And this is it. So it says, court blocks fake Toshi Craig Wright's appeal in Bitcoin creator case. So again, we've got Christian Ager Hansen weighing in on this. Also, we've got Tufty the Cat, as you'd expect. Craig also got some opinions on this. We'll go over those. And then the fact that the market doesn't really seem to have cared whether or not his appeal has failed. The market price still looks quite strong, going up, so who knows what's going on there. Little post here by Brendan Lee going on about the use cases for BSV. It's running Terranode thing in comparison to how Finney's running Bitcoin. Epic tweet. We've got a little bit of 365 days of Bitcoin history, and then we'll go through some of the figures because they're starting to look really juicy if you ask me. And that'll be at the end of the show. Right, let's get into it.
Satoshi, like a cowboy in the West, riding on the blockchain that they call the very best. 1,000,000 strong, them transactions flying free. Just wait for the Terranode, you'll surely see.
Alright then, rock and roll. So Cointelegraph says, court blocks fake Toshi Craig Wright's appeal in Bitcoin creator case. Just 2 hours ago, so almost fresh hot off the press. The UK Court of Appeal suggested that Craig Wright's appeal grounds contained multiple falsehoods, including reliance upon some fictitious authorities. I mean, again, how he is not allowed to appeal when it wasn't even a court case. There was literally, they weren't even allowing examination. It was all cross-examination. All of it. I mean, since when have you ever heard a court case where they didn't allow examination? And it was only cross-examination. So all we're going to do is discredit every witness, which means we're not actually going to have any evidence presented to the court that anybody can weigh in on, that the judge can actually make a decision on. All they're going to try and do is discredit every single witness because both sides are just simply cross-examining each other's witnesses, which basically means discrediting them. So you're not going to hear anything from them at all. It's just ridiculous. If you ask me, I would say that entire court is contempt of court. But as we know, Halsbury's Law on Administrative Courts 2011, there is no authority for administrative courts in this country, and no act can be passed to legitimise them due to the constraints on the monarch's oath at her coronation, or at their coronation. So what's going on here is a complete stitch-up. A complete stitch-up. But it means that Bitcoin is now going to have to compete. And yeah, I'm not really a fan of Craig turning up for this contempt of court hearing. Just because I don't trust the court at all. But it's not even a court. It's just an administration process. And because they can't deal with living men and women, personally, I think he should just send in his birth certificate because that's what Dr. Wright truly is. So send it in. There you go. That's the birth certificate. It's a corporate entity, just like the court is. That's why when they come in, they say all rise because they're raising the dead. They're dealing with dead people. They're dealing with trustees. Trustees. Who are meant to be acting as trustees for the beneficiary, who's a corporation that's dead, really. That's really what's going on. So anyway, let's see what this says. The United Kingdom Court of Appeal has rejected Craig Wright's attempt to appeal a High Court ruling that declared he is not Satoshi Nakamoto, the pseudonymous creator of Bitcoin. I mean, this is outrageous because Judge Mellor has already been proved to be unreliable in his other decisions, and he was found to be incorrect by a Court of Appeal 3-1. 3-1. Every single appeal judge said he'd made an incorrect decision. And now they're not letting this through. Well, it's basically because it wouldn't be safe for any judge to proclaim that Craig Wright is Satoshi Nakamoto when BTC has got a $2 trillion market cap. There is just no way. So they're just simply not going to allow it in. You know, they just say, right, you're going to reject it. This is it, really. United Kingdom Court of Appeals rejected Craig Wright's attempt to appeal a High Court ruling that declared he's not Satoshi Nakamoto, the pseudonymous creator of Bitcoin. Hodlanor, a Gregcoin influencer extensively covering Wright's fake Toshi saga, took to X on November 29th, that was earlier today, to report that Wright's application for permission to appeal has been brutally denied. According to the court, Wright provided false arguments for being Nakamoto. Well, again, there were no allegations of forgery or fraud, let alone any evidence. So the only individual who was declaring Craig Wright to be a liar and frauder was the judge, of which he had no grounds to do so because no evidence or allegations were presented. And there was only cross-examination allowed. I mean, it's an absolute farce. So according to the court, Wright provided false arguments for being Nakamoto, including those suspected to be created with artificial intelligence. What a joke. The latest court decision brings an end to the long-lasting saga of Wright's multiple legal battles in his effort to prove that he created Bitcoin. Wright's falsehoods appear to be AI-generated hallucinations. In the latest ruling, the UK Court of Appeal suggested that Wright's appeal grounds contained multiple falsehoods, including reliance upon some fictitious authorities. And we just got this here from BitMEX. So it says, one example cited by the court was a case labelled Anderson versus the Queen, 2013, UK, PC2, which the court said appeared to be AI-generated hallucinations. It is not credible on its face, and even less so given the judge's findings as to Dr. Wright's credibility, the court stated, adding, the appeals have no prospect of success whatsoever. The appeals have no prospect of success whatsoever. So that means they haven't actually been denied. And there is no other reason to hear them. 8 years of fake Toshi saga. I mean, as if he would pursue it for 8 years, you know. Born in 1970, Wright is an Australian computer scientist and businessman. Since at least 2016, Wright has claimed to be Nakamoto. Well, no, actually, because he was doxxed in 2015 by Wired magazine and Gizmodo magazine, and they wouldn't leave him alone. Openly asserting that he is the creator of Bitcoin. The crypto community has questioned Wright's claims, with some prominent figures like Hodlonaut calling him a scammer and a fraud. But Wright, or Fake Toshi, as Wright is referred to on BTC's internet forums, didn't stop there. Over the years, he's filed a number of libel lawsuits against Hodlonaut, Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin, Adam Back, podcaster Peter McCormack, which he won, and many others. Many of these cases ended in losses or dismissal for Wright. Actually, no, they didn't. He did quite well. So he won the Ira Kleiman case. No mention of that one there. He won the Peter McCormack case. No mention there. In May, Judge James Miller of the UK High Court of Justice ruled that Wright was not Nakamoto. The ruling came in a case brought against Wright by the Crypto Open Patent Alliance, a coalition of firms that accused Wright of forgery to fabricate evidence backing his claim of being Nakamoto. Actually, there were no accusations. There were no accusations or allegations at all. They were just questioning him. As Wright has been proven not to be the creator of Bitcoin, well, that's not a fact because he wasn't proven at all, investigators and journalists around the world have been making efforts to de-anonymize Nakamoto's identity. In October, a HBO documentary suggesting that Canadian Bitcoin core developer Peter Todd was the secret creator of Bitcoin. While Todd himself subsequently said he wasn't Nakamoto, many in the community were skeptical about the revelation. Yeah, to put it mildly, because it was an absolute joke. Right, let's go on to the opinions of what these shitcoiners have said. So Tufty the Cat said, what a result. Arnold L.J. completely destroys Wright's permissions to appeal in just 3 pages, refusing it for being totally without merit. Some interesting points. Dr. Wright's grounds for appeal, skeleton argument, and summary of the skeleton argument themselves contain multiple falsehoods, including reliance upon fictitious authorities such as Anderson versus the Queen, UK PC2, which appeared to be AI-generated hallucinations. The primary case that the Court of Appeal should itself retry the case on appeal and conclude conclude that the judge is wrong is totally without merit, since it involves a complete misconception of the Court of Appeal's function and approach in a case such as this. Furthermore, none of Dr. Wright's grounds come anywhere near demonstrating that the judge's decision is rationally insupportable. Dr. Wright accuses the judge of bias, but this accusation is baseless. No credible allegation of either actual bias or apparent bias is made by Dr. Wright, but only a series of disagreements with the judge's reasoning. Again, they're using maritime law, calling him Dr. Wright. Dr. Wright is a fictitious entity, and so they can just make shit up about him, or they can make shit up about it because Dr. Wright is a corporate entity. You know, so he's got no authority whatsoever. In fact, the judge leant over backwards to ensure that Dr. Wright, again maritime entity, received a fair trial. BS. Well, where was the examination then? Only cross-examination. What a load of crap. Dr. Wright even goes so far as to say that his own legal team's failures to adduce evidence and or challenge evidence adduced by COPA breached his Article 6 ECHR rights, that's European Court of Human Rights. This is an impossible contention because Dr. Wright is a legal fiction. Dr. Wright had the benefit of a large, highly expert and well-resourced legal team who acted with his authority, again with his authority, not in his best interest, and represented his case as well as it could possibly be presented, yet to make sure that he lost. For the reason given above, the appeals have no prospect of success whatever, and there is no other reason to hear them. Also see note number 2, where permission to appeal has been refused on the papers. That decision is final and cannot be further reviewed or appealed. See Rule 52.5 and Section 54.4 of Access to Justice Act 1999. I also get an honourable mention. Game over Craig. Well, actually, it should be game over Dr. Wright, really, because that's what the court is all about, this legal fiction. So, stamped 29th of November. Again, it's not sealed or anything like that. Signed. That's hilarious. Signed by the court, capital letters, removed from the document. That's not signed at all. It's not signed. Nobody has signed. Look, signed by the court. What an absolute piss take this is. An absolute piss take. This is what needs to go to court. Whoever is producing these documents, willfully and knowingly, they've got no authority whatsoever. That's absolutely unbelievable. This could still be pursued because this is not signed. The order has not been authorised. So the appeal should just simply carry on because this isn't right. You can literally send this back saying it's not signed. Who is going to sign this? Signed by the court. What an absolute load of crap that is. Good grief. I mean, the skullduggery and corruption behind this is just unbelievable. We've also got Christian Eger-Hansen weighing in on this. He says, I'm very pleased with the UK Court of Appeal's decision to reject Craig Wright's appeal, calling it totally without merit. This is a major defeat for Wright, former Enchain chairman Stephen Matthews, and Calvin Ayre, Enchain's owner, who funded the failed legal attempts to mislead the world into believing Wright is Satoshi Nakamoto. The court upheld the High Court's findings that Wright lied, forged evidence, and built his case on deception. As a whistleblower who exposed Enchain's chairman Stephen Matthews, Chief Science Officer Craig Wright, and Calvin Ayre's financial backing of these fraudulent schemes in September 2023, months before February 2024 trial, this ruling is a powerful validation of the truth, and you can't trust anything this guy says at all. I've stood by. My disclosures uncovered how Wright, Matthews and Ayre attempted to manipulate the Bitcoin narrative for financial gain and elaborate and calculated fraud. What a load of crap. This isn't just a win for a Bitcoin community, it's a victory for the truth and justice. It proves that no amount of money or legal tricks can hide the facts despite facing retaliation, harassment and relentless legal attacks for speaking out. Today's decision confirms that fighting for the truth was worth it. Today is a victory for integrity and the principles that matter most. Truth, accountability, and most importantly, the courage of whistleblowers to stand up for what is right, no matter the cost. I'm proud to have had the backbone to speak out. Bullshit. Even under the erroneous pressure, or enormous pressure, it has placed on me and those close to me. I want to take this moment to thank everyone who has supported me during this challenging time, including whistleblowers. Oh my God, led by Georgia, whose unwavering commitment to the truth and justice has been a source of strength and inspiration. Your support has meant the world to me and has helped me stand firm in the face of adversity. What a load of crap. Look at that. It's not sealed and there's no signature there. Oh my God. The amount of corruption is just unbelievable. Who's this? X-Charles weighing in, saying, good news, thanks for all your efforts. Good grief. Good grief. So Craig has said here, the only reason to care about the identity of Satoshi, the only reason, is if you're scheming to rewrite the rules, to rig the game, to play God with a system that was meant to run as it was built. Changing the protocol ? That's the con. That's where the fraud lies, hoping to skate by under the guise of authority or confusion. Anything else, anything that doesn't twist the structure, and the name is just another detail lost to time. A curiosity, an academic footnote, a ghost. But Satoshi, he's already spoken loud and clear. The white paper, plain as day, doesn't whisper, doesn't shutter. It says exactly what it needs to do. And if you need him to rise from the shadows to remind you what he built, then you've already missed the point. Anyone with half a functioning brain cell could do the work themselves. That's true. Check the record, compare the code, look at the system as it was. Not after 2016, not after the parasitic swarm began twisting it into something it was never meant to be. Satoshi doesn't need to say a word anymore. It's all there, in the white paper, in the original design. The truth doesn't move just because frauds want it to. The truth doesn't need a name. But the frauds do. They cling to it, hoping to shield their con jobs behind the veil of identity. And if you can't see that, then you're not just blind, you're complicit. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well said. And Polsky has said here, now that Craig Wright is a scammer, BSV is a scam, and we're all fools, then I guess this is where it all would end. Now that Craig Wright has lost the appeal, it's finally over. But transactions keep ticking. Strange, almost as if it's not a scam after all. And look at this. 46 million transactions representing 94% of the entire market's transaction volume. Absolutely crazy. Where are we now? Yeah, 94.3. Still keeps ticking up. Wow. And Brendan Lee has just made a post here. He said, my wife works in airline tech, so I know a little bit about how the system works. You'd be amazed how backwards some of it is, a bit like the central banking network. When large outages take place, it's not just booking systems that go down, but check-in and boarding systems as well. Fallback systems, including printed manifests and mechanical counters. An airline booking and a ticket management system built on BSV would allow for an outage in the booking system to be completely isolated from the check-in. Once tickets are published on the blockchain, the check-in and onboarding kiosks don't need to be connected to the back-end to update the status. As long as they maintain an up-to-date set of transaction outputs, checking in and boarding tasks can continue regardless of any back-end chaos. This would be hugely meaningful for airline companies whose systems sometimes fail catastrophically, stranding passengers for hours, days. BSV is the future of ticketing systems. Yeah, and he did a great talk the other day on using BSV for phone calls and things like that. Awesome. And there we go. And Bitcoin's SCL has said here, look, running Bitcoin, and it's running with regard to CSW on Terranode. Fantastic. And let's have a little bit of 365 days of Bitcoin history on the 29th of November. The best one here, 29th of November 2022, was a CSW on false prophets, where he said the false prophet says what others want to hear. He delivers the now. The true vision is not decided by a market. It is not decided by the mob. Vision is the dreams of a new world and utterly starts with one man who refuses to change or accept things as they are. Beautiful. That's what we need. Yes, indeed. All right, let's have a look at these figures then. Look at that. So, number going up. Top left of the screen. Preve reporting Bitcoin at $70.92. We've got it here $71 on CoinDance. Look at this transaction volume back on CoinDance, 99.08. Good grief. Crazy. And block size 98.30. Block size is coming through 219 megabytes, 266 megabytes, 103, 100, 122, 186, 243, 229. Beautiful. It's currently 219,000 times cheaper to transact on Bitcoin than Gregcoin, that Segwit coin. Mining Bitcoin at an 18.7 comparable loss. Let's have a look at these other charts. Look at that. Daily average Bitcoin block size by network. Bitcoin absolutely smashing it on a log curve. Come on. Transactions by network. Transactions per block by network. Look at that on a log curve. It's absolutely massive. Fees USD. Look, sub-cent fees there. Right down. Fees Satoshis again on a log curve. Absolutely huge. And look at this. The block reward is starting to kick in. Look at that. That's the kind of thing that we want to see. Beautiful. Let's just hope it continues. The only chart you really need to look at if you want to know what's really going to happen in the future is this one. As Satoshi Nakamoto said, it is strictly necessary that the longest chain is always considered the valid one, which is that one in red. Global hash rate 7 days, global hash rate 24 hours. Gradecoin hash rate, other miners 0.69 on there. Bcrash, other miners 45. Fisher Price Cash, who cares? And we've got Bitcoin. We'll just cross-reference that with what's on chain. Here we go. Look at this. Change the colors here. So Coup 39.31, Tau 30.34, QD Link 26.21, and Gorilla Pool 4.1. No mining Dutch on there this time. Interesting. Let's have a look at these beautiful transactions coming through here. Look at this. So this just steady away. That's 24 hours. These are the transactions on the week. And this is very telling. Look at that. On the month. I mean, that actually looks... That looks like it might continue to rise. Look at that. That's steady away, that is. That's not kind of like testing where suddenly you're stress testing the network. This looks like growth. Let's just hope it is. Let's have a look at 3 months. Look at that. Look at that. Boom. Come on. And year to date. Look at the look. This increase in transactions looks different to what we've seen before. Look at that. Look at that. Whoa. Absolutely massive. Compare that to the rest of the market, yeah, 46 million transactions over the last 24 hours. And we know that even XRP, when they pushed the network, they could only handle 2. And that's 2 million transactions in 24 hours. And we're at 46 here. 46. And look at this. You know what's going to happen. And the exchanges are cashing out. Look at that. Exchanges reserves. They don't want to be holding that shit. Even though the price of BTC is going up. No, sirree. They don't want it. And Tether, look, desperately trying to keep the scam going. So even today, it's gone from 133.2 to 103.5. So 300 million gone in, literally just this afternoon. Cool, look at that on the week. 130.8 to 133.5. Whew. And look at this on the month. 120.5 to 133.5. Good grief. 13 billion. 13 billion in a month. That's almost like what? 13 billion a month. That's almost like a billion every 2 days. It's like 500 million a day. Almost. 500 million a day for an entire month. Pumping this shitcoin market. Good grief. Right, let's have a look at Bitcoin versus BTC. Oh, just had a little pump there. And again, they want to bring it down again. I mean, look at that. That is suppression. It keeps popping up again. Almost like playing whack-a-mole. Up and down, up and down. Pops up, pops down again. That's what it's like. The whack-a-mole chart. Let's have a look at Bitcoin versus USD. Oh, let's have a look at this over kind of 24 hours. Little bit of a rally there. Very good. Let's check that with Orange Gateway. This is Bitcoin versus Gradecoin, as we just saw. Yep, the whack-a-mole chart going up and down. So Bitcoin versus USD. Yeah. Little rally today. You see, you'd think that would go down really after the after the appeal has been denied, but it doesn't really seem to make a difference here, does it? Bit strange, that, isn't it? Overall market then, look at that, $3.4 trillion. And Gradecoin still at 97. So where's all that tether going? It looks to me like that tether is going into the shit coins. It's going to be obvious to see which ones it is. XRP is going into shit coins being pumped. Look at that. So again, yeah, definitely being pumped. Look, 16% in the last 24 hours. 20% over the last 7 days, and 227% in the last month. That's where the tether. That is where tether is going, into the shit coins. What else looks at? Doge. Yeah, that's going up. Avalanche. I mean, yeah, look, it's pumping all of these. Pumping all the, yeah, the altcoin season and all that. What's that? Uniswap. Hedera hash graph. Oh my goodness me, look at that. What a joke that is. What an absolute joke that is. Algorand, 29%. Look at that. Look, they're pumping all the altcoins. That's all they're doing. What's this? Artificial Superintelligence Alliance. Give me a break. Give me a break. V-Chain. Like, oh my god. Fetters going. Oh my goodness. 94% in a month. And was Flocky. Oh my goodness me. 59% in a month. I mean, look at EOS. You kidding me? 100% in the last 30 days and 28% in the last 7 days. 15% today. This is where they're pumping Tether into. It's all a distraction. What? Ethereum, ENS, Lido DAO, Rune. Oh my goodness me. And all those shitcoiners will be cheering, going, oh, finally, we were right. We made the decision on all these shitcoins. Aren't we amazing? Core DAO, Flare. Oh my god. Oh my god. And here's Bitcoin. Look at that. Just $70. Not a lot of movement, although 40% on the month if you bought in at the low. Where's the volume? Gate.io, MEXC Global, ZXON. Liquidity is the important one though. Changelly Pro, OKX, PyNX, HitBTC, HXT. Oh. Interesting. Right, there we go. That's a 27-minute show. Right, we'll leave it there. I hope you enjoyed it. And as ever, if you enjoyed these updates, please ding your donations for your appreciation to either Satoshi at Sembi.com, Handcash.io, Simply.cash, Relasia.com, RockWallet.me or Senti.ch. We'll leave it there. I hope you enjoyed it. And as ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.